Well, hello there, and thank you for joining me on this edition of Product Conversations. I have a very special guest with me today. Trish Wall represents Inline Plastics, and we're going to talk a little bit today about how those products fit into the current climate within the food service channel. So Trish, thank you very much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here.
Hi, Ben. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I think we're going to have some fun today. So let's get right into it. So in our current economic environment, in what we're seeing happening in food service, in restaurants, really in society at large, everybody is very concerned about safety and being healthy. And as it relates to food, is it even safe right now to have carry-out food?
Well, the short answer is yes. The CDC, the FDA, the USDA have all said there's no evidence that the virus is transmitted through food or food packaging.
That's good to know, because I know a lot of people are tired of making their own food and would love to go out and grab some carryout. So, when we're talking about the food remaining safe, what is it that a food service establishment needs to do or needs to keep in mind in order to maintain that safety?
Well, and it should be reassuring to everyone that commercial food service or restaurants have always had to have one person on staff who's been trained in food safety. And basic food safety is the cleaning, disinfecting, sanitizing of food contact surfaces, the washing of hands for 20 seconds before handling food. So all of that has already been in place prior to this pandemic. The only change in regulations is that they're suggesting that restaurant workers try and maintain a 6-foot distance from each other in prepping the food. But
Sure.
So we can all be reassured that these safety measures are really long-standing and have been in place way before the pandemic.
Well, that's good to know. So basically all the things that we're getting used to
Right.
looking at more frequently, the restaurants have already been doing this.
Right.
They're now adding a little bit of space in between their workers, which of course the rest of us are doing as well.
Right.
So what is the FDA's guidance on food safety packaging? What should people do? What is the FDA recommending that people do when they do order carry out? What's the recommendation there?
The recommendation is when you get your takeout food that you repack it, you take it out of the transfer containers, the bag, the containers, put it on your own dishes, use your own utensils, and then discard or recycle the packaging it came in.
Okay, very cool. So whereas before we may have been used to just popping that lid and eating right out of that.
Right. That's the difference.
That's
right.
the difference. Okay. So what is it that we can offer that would help customers feel as though their food is the safest it possibly can be when they order carry out?
Well, my recommendation is that restaurants package their product in a tamper-evident container, and ideally that tamper-evident container can then be recycled. Because again, the recommendation is transfer right away and then dispose of or recycle. So if you can offer a container that's both tamper-evident and recyclable, it's kind of the best of both worlds.
It's one thing I would think if you're going to pick up your food yourself at the restaurant, right? You drive there, you walk in, you pay for your order and you pick it up and you see it come off of the counter directly into your hands, into your car and so forth. But of course, many of us are using, Grubhub and Uber Eats and delivery services where there's some stranger that is transporting your food. I would imagine that the tamper evident part of that is even more important in that scenario.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, third-party transport has many advantages because it can basically be contact-free. You pay ahead of time, they leave it at your doorstep, but the downside is what you mentioned. You've got a third-party person transporting this. How do you know it remains safe during transport? And again, if you can offer a tamper-evident package, the consumer has that peace of mind.
tell me a little bit about how tamper evident packaging works. Maybe give me an example. I've got some samples that you sent me here. You've got some there. Just let's get into it and show me how it works.
Well, Inline was the first in the industry to create a tamper evident package. And their product, I've put some mac and cheese in my container here. They're hinge containers. They're simple, one step to tamper evident. You just close the lid. Just gonna close it down here.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this alongside you without the mac and cheese.
It's easier to close when it has some weight in it. But you go from the bottom, you go all the way around, seal the container.
Okay. Yep.
And now you have a tamper evident container, and it's consumer intuitive and easy to use. There's a tear strip right here. You do not get into the product without the tear strip being pulled, so it's very clear if someone's been in it. Once you tear the strip, and you have a two-piece container. Now, pre-pandemic, this is a resaleable container. You could use this to store whatever. Now, under current recommendations, you would simply open, transfer to your own plate, rinse, and you can recycle. This is made out of DPET. It's the #1 globally recycled product, and it's just a great way to transfer your product.
Yeah. So when I just did it here as you were demonstrating, it is really. I mean, that seal is incredibly tight. There's no way to get into the product unless you rip this tab, and at which point in time you would know that then could have been tampered with. So that's fantastic. Now, what about like liquids? I mean, how would that work in here?
Well, that's the other advantage to that tight seal, but it's leak resistant, very leak resistant, because it has that tight seal. So again, if you've got serving something that's more brothy, whatever, again, in transport, you've got that other peace of mind that you're not going to have leaks.
All right, so Inline Plastics has a massive array of products. I mean, there's a container for everything you can possibly think of, I think, in their arsenal of products. So help us narrow it down, Trish. What products would you say are the ones that you really need to hone in on, that are going to really take care of the most need with the fewest number of SKUs?
I just picked out, just like you said, just a couple. This is, again, all of these are part of that Safety Fresh line. This is a TS24. This is a 24-ounce rectangular container. This could be used for an entree or a salad. And if you can see, it actually has an insert in it. This is a salad insert because it's very popular now to keep proteins or other items off of your salad. So this could be one container that could be used for either salad or entree. This is the 5x5 that I showed earlier with my hunk of mac and cheese. Again, small salad, sandwich, that kind of item, smaller version of the other one. I also have a 2-compartment. And this is ideal, think wrap, side salad, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the last one I picked out is the snack cup. This is a 12-ounce snack cup. We've shown it with fruit. We've shown it with parfaits. But again, a new thing under the pandemic, you have to check your own state requirements, but I know Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, you can buy alcoholic beverages as long as you're buying food, 2 alcoholic beverages for 1 food order. And this is an excellent way to transport. It can be made ahead of time. These are stackable. But again, that whole leak resistance when you're en route, so perfect way to serve an alcoholic beverage.
That's great. And this is 12 ounces?
That's a 12-ounce.
Okay. Well, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's probably a use that Inline Plastics didn't necessarily see when they created the product.
Exactly.
We all can be very innovative and adapt to the changing climate that we find ourselves in, and I think that's a great idea. So, all right. Well, Trish, I think you've given us a lot of really great things to think about. You've demonstrated some products that I think have some really great applications in the marketplace, and especially with a lot of the changes that we're seeing coming into the market, the Safety Fresh product think really has a lot of really good applications. So thanks so much for spending some time with me today. It does mean a lot, and I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you are looking for any more information on the Safety Fresh product and Tamper evident packaging, please reach out to me. You can email me, call me, look me up on any of your social media platforms, and I will certainly do my best to help you in any way possible. So thank you again for joining me for Product Conversations, and I hope you have a wonderful day.